Teaching Center, Sitakund, Bangladesh. And he's also translator at Padyatra Press. Some basic academics about Prabhu. Prabhu has done BBA, MBA, and PGD HRM. And he's also Bhakti Vaibhav, and Bhakti Shastri Bhakti Vaibhav, and currently doing Bhakti Vedant from GEV. I got his contact from Gaurang Manohar Prabhu there. Prabhuji got initiated from His Holiness Loknath Swami Maharaj in 2018. So kindly Prabhuji has arrived today to share us about His Grace Pancharatna Prabhu. So I would like to request Prabhuji to first play the lecture of His Grace Pancharatna Prabhu, and then following at 6 p.m. we'll be hearing introduction and glorification of His Grace Pancharatna Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. Hare Krishna, under the lotus feet of all the devotees. We are hearing from His Grace Pancharatna Prabhu. It was very nice lecture, very practical experiences of Prabhuji and the nice glories of Bhagavan Sri Nrsimhadev. And I am also offering my humble obeisances under the lotus feet of Param Puja, His Holiness Bhakti Prem Swami Maharaj. Please accept my obeisances. And I am actually little embarrassed also because Maharaj is in front of us. But if Maharaj bless me, I will try to sing the glories of His Grace Pancharatna Prabhu. Actually, it's a very nice program to sing the glories of the dearmost disciples of Srila Prabhupada. By hearing the glories of these disciples of Srila Prabhupada, actually our heart will be cleansed and we will be more energetic to do much services unto the lotus feet of Srila Prabhupada and his mission. So now I will very briefly discuss about His Grace Pancharatna Prabhu. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatirmirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namah. Namayam Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Tinamini. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschyatta Deshatarini. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. I'm sharing a slide regarding the activities and glories of His Grace Pancharatna Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Actually, His Grace Pancharatna Prabhu, he was introduced to ISKCON at a very early stage in 1970. So there is a very nice history how he got connected with ISKCON. Actually, when he was little teenage, like 13 or 14, he was thinking, what's the purpose of my life? Why I have come in this world? Actually, he was from a very scholarly family. His father was a scientist and his mother was a very popular academic. But they did not give him much education or training or learnings about religion, spirituality. That's why he had some vacuum in his heart and he was trying to find out the reason why we have actually come in this world, what's the purpose of our life. And he was actually himself contemplating about these matters. Somehow he got connected with some person who took him to a church, and he was first connected with Lord Jesus, and he learned some prayers from them from this church, and he felt some spirituality in his heart, some peace, and this continued for some time. But he was thinking, yes, there is some peace, but maybe there is something more in spirituality. I am feeling also, still now I am feeling some vacuum in my heart. Then in search of spirituality, actually, unfortunately, he got connected with the hippies and got connected with the drugs and very indisciplined life also. And life was going on like this. And he shifted for his job in Canada. While doing his job, one day in Toronto, he visited one Hare Krishna temple, ISKCON temple, and he was introduced with a boy who was not actually a devotee, but he was known about the philosophy of ISKCON. How? Because the youth spent some time to the service of Srila Prabhupada. Then he had something about the Krishna consciousness philosophy, and this boy preached his guest Pancharatna Prabhu, and he was inspired a lot to chant Hare Krishna Mantra for the first time. There is a lesson we can take from this event. Srila Prabhupada always used to tell that it's not that to teach Krishna consciousness you have to be very scholarly. We can see from this preaching, this little boy was actually not fully devotee, but Srila Prabhupada always used to tell that you hear one line and preach one line. So this boy also did this, and Pancharatna Prabhu got inspired to chant Hare Krishna Mantra for the first time. And he was feeling that, yes, now I am feeling that it's the highest stage of spirituality. Then life was going on like this, and he was practicing Krishna consciousness very seriously. And by this time, by one of senior disciple of Srila Prabhupada, is this Rupanuga Prabhu, Pancharatna Prabhu was invited to New York. And he went to New York and got opportunity to serve there to Srila Prabhupada. There is a very nice history also. For the first time, Pancharatna Prabhu got the service of Srila Prabhupada to video his class. So his mother contributed some instruments to record Srila Prabhupada's video, and he recorded Srila Prabhupada's one class. And after this class, he went Srila Prabhupada's room and showed Srila Prabhupada this video. And he was noticing that Srila Prabhupada was seeing this video, but he's not actually noticing what he talked. He was Pancharatna was noticing that Srila Prabhupada was clapping his hand, the kirtan did by Srila Prabhupada in his last class. Then Pancharatna Prabhu realized that actually Srila Prabhupada is over all the mundane thinkings and thoughts and over the all bodily consciousness. Actually, he is too much devoted to the Lord that he is not conscious about what he spoke in his class, but he is attached to the holy name. He is singing with himself. This is very nice. So that's how he was, he got more attracted to Srila Prabhupada. And he did many service for Srila Prabhupada. Here we are seeing over decades of dedicated service, he has played key roles in ISKCON's development, especially in Mayapur, where he helped establish projects, led publishing efforts, and served in GBC committees. Am I audible? Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji.
And he is very known for his humility, organizational skills, and deep devotion. He continues to inspire the global devotee community through his preaching, leadership, and mentoring. So we also discussed how he joined in 1970 ISKCON Toronto and served in various projects of ISKCON until 1976 with Srila Prabhupada. Pancharatna Prabhu is mostly known about a nice project of ISKCON, New York. He inaugurated or he launched the fundraising system for the corporations in ISKCON in New York. So there is also a very nice history. When he launched this program, Srila Prabhupada was not there. So he printed some letterheads and printed their ISKCON's phone numbers and address. And he tried to convince the corporation's members and higher officials. And after some days, Srila Prabhupada reached New York and he was working in his office, Pancharatna Prabhu. Suddenly, Brahmananda Prabhu called him that Srila Prabhupada wants to see you. Pancharatna Prabhu got very confused because Srila Prabhupada wants to see you means there is something. There is something. And he visited Srila Prabhupada and he saw, he offered his obeisances and he saw this letterhead in front of Srila Prabhupada. Then he thought, yes, there is something about this letterhead. Then Srila Prabhupada asked him very boldly, why there is only ISKCON? Why not there International Society for Krishna Consciousness? And where founder-acharya Srila Prabhupada? Then he got stuck. Actually, it was his fault. So then he realized that actually Srila Prabhupada, why he was very concerned about International Society for Krishna Consciousness. This Krishna, Srila Prabhupada never wanted to hide Krishna. And he wanted to always have this founder-acharya identity. It's not for his bodily identity, but to save ISKCON for the next 10,000 years. And he also served in different projects like building Bengali language division and for the Bhaktivedanta Book Trust, and some constructions projects also he has done very nicely in ISKCON New York. In his personal life, he married Her Grace Atita Guna Devidasi Mataji in Mayapur in 1980, and together they raised 4 children, primarily in Mayapur. So his services and contributions. After that, after the demise of Srila Prabhupada, he never stopped. He very boldly extend himself for the mission of Srila Prabhupada and Sriman Mahaprabhu. So he was Minister for Sannyas Services in 1992, Minister for Health and Welfare since 1994, served as Chairman of several GBC committees, and still now he is supporting the GBC members, GBC committees very nicely from the core of his heart and his capacity. Currently, he is serving the GBC strategic planning team and ISKCON Online, focusing on digital outreach and strategic development. Teaching and preaching. We also heard from the class how nicely he is preaching the lessons of Srimad Bhagavatam and Srimad Bhagavad Gita and other ancient scriptures. Regularly, he is delivering lectures on sacred texts, including the Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, sharing insights and realizations. Engages with the global devotee community through online platforms, offering guidance and sharing experiences from his devotional journey. He resides in Mayapur, continuing to serve in various capacities with ISKCON and helping to make a very nice congregational devotee team in Mayapur. Active in community outreach, ensuring that the principles and teachings of Krishna consciousness are accessible and welcoming to all. Actually, he is giving much efforts for developing the right training and education in ISKCON platform. And remembering Srila Prabhupada, we already had several pastimes of Prabhuji. His this Pancharatna Prabhuji with Srila Prabhupada. These are written here actually. I am reading for your more understanding. When I was living in New York for the first 5 years of my devotional life, at one point, I became responsible for the fundraising for ISKCON food relief. I began to develop a strategy to raise money from corporations. I thought this business would not complete to Krishna. So I came up with an idea to make a letterhead that just said ISKCON. I actually rented an address on 51st Street in Manhattan and installed a telephone. I did make some appointments, but I did not actually raise any money. When Srila Prabhupada visited New York a few months later, Brahmananda came up the stairs to my office and said, Srila Prabhupada wants to see you. I sensed that there was something going on. I went down and entered Prabhupada's room, and that letterhead was on Prabhupada's table. He looked at me and said, you have done this? I said, yes, Prabhupada. So where is International Society for Krishna Consciousness and founder-acharya? I do not know if I even tried to explain. All I remember is, so you won't do this again? You won't do this again? I of course said, yes, Srila Prabhupada. I have never done it again. Since then, I have always told people about that incident because it was a lesson about the importance of always associating ISKCON with its full name, International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Wherever practical and possible, we should recognize Srila Prabhupada as the founder-acharya. That was a good lesson. Hare Krishna. So this was a very short. Actually, there is unlimited glories of them, but we tried to discuss very briefly about the glories of His Grace Pancharatna Prabhu. So Bhagavad says, Mahartikatesha Samagamamcha Dustarkamula Apahata Avivekaha. By the momentary association of the exalted devotees, actually our heart will get cleansed and we get rid of all the misconceptions of our life. So I think this glories will empower us and encourage us for our next journey with Srila Prabhupada and ISKCON. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, Prabhuji, for sharing insights and especially telling the importance of hearing and associating with Srila Prabhupada disciples. So it was a really nice presentation of yours, and we thank you for your time. Jai His Grace Pancharatna Prabhu ki jai, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hare Krishna.